you want to know how to get a banging VIP group, right? Can I get some love for that? I mean, how many of us are sitting there going, no one's liking, no one's commenting. What the hell am I doing wrong? Well, you're in the right place. So, Cassandra, I'm going to turn it over to you while I drink wine.
Okay. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cassandra Lowery, and I'm a Pink 3, and I met Melissa in Costa Rica. Lauren was actually my roommate. We were roomies, so we met in Costa Rica. Super fun. Little funny story. Maybe it's not so funny for Melissa. It was mortifying for me. But I got to know her real nice and personal when I moved her husband in the pool in Costa Rica. Good times.
He didn't mind. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm supposed to be real. I mean, gosh.
Okay, so I want to talk to you all a little bit about VIP groups and just tell you where I was before I made the changes that I have implemented in my VIP group that have seemed to work for me. So like you always hear from everyone else, just because it worked for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for you, but I promise it won't work if you don't try. So if you don't try something new, you'll never know whether or not it's going to work. So the first thing I started doing was I would post stuff and it was like, hey, do you see my stuff? Like nobody would comment, nobody would do anything. I would give samples out and people would tell me what they thought about their samples, but they weren't necessarily willing to share it with my group, which is really what you want. You want your customers interacting with your page because essentially they're selling Posh for you, right? It takes the hard footwork out of it for us, and we can just kind of be driving the fun bus in our VIP groups and not so much spamming them with product 24/7, right? So what I decided to do was change things up. I know that a lot of people post on a schedule and they're like Mask Monday, or they'll do like an Inspiration Tuesday. Well, I don't like to disappoint, and I have a tendency to not necessarily keep a schedule. So I just keep mine kind of random, but I do those same things. I will share masks on a certain day, or I will share about an ingredient one day a week. I always make sure one day a week to share a funny video or some kind of meme or something that I came across. And it doesn't always have to be industry related. There is a Beachbody coach that makes these Snapchat videos that cracks me up. So I share those all the time. My group seems to like those pretty well. So you want to do things that are fun, but also be informative at the same time. So I made that change in my group to kind of like have a plan, but not necessarily have a schedule. And I know that may seem a little crazy for you, but like I feel like if I have a schedule and I don't meet that schedule for the day, then I kind of feel like I've failed in a way. So I kind of just make sure that I touch my topics throughout the 7 days, and at the end of the 7 days I feel like I've done something right. Okay, so the one thing I feel has made my VIP group the most successful and has been able to gain repetitive habits that I want from my VIPs is I do an incentive. I know people have mixed feelings about incentivizing your customers or giving away free product or what you should do in that case, but I personally do an incentive every month. I give away a free full-size product, and what I do for the entries of those, of course you get entries for making purchases, right? But you also get entries for winning games, for sharing an order. If you got an order, take a picture, put it in my group, I give you an entry. If you got samples and you shared a sample, or you shared your opinion about a product or something like that in the form of a review in my group, then I give you an entry. So when I first started this incentive, didn't work so hot, okay? It was not the best thing in the world, but I was determined, and I was going to run it in a 90-day cycle. So Posh runs their props, used to run it in a 90-day cycle. I'm a little old school, I guess, on the whole prop situation, but they used to run it in a 90-day cycle. So I committed to 90 days of trying this incentive in my VIP group. So the first month, it was like crickets. And yes, I gave away a product, and I really kind of felt like I didn't really, get a whole lot back for what I gave. But the magic happened the next month. So the person got their prize, and I included in their little note that I sent, please share a picture and your honest opinion of the prize in the VIP group. You know, everybody wants to see what you got. I mean, who doesn't? Everybody likes to see what people are getting for free, right? So they did that. And then what that caused was, well, next thing I know, somebody else is like, oh, I've got this hand cream and it smells so good. And then I have another one that's like, oh girl, I had this big old zit and then I used that zit zapper and it was totally gone. So it started a cycle in my group. So anytime somebody would do something that I liked, because on my incentive, I have the consultant's choice option. So anytime somebody would do something that I liked, I would give them an entry into the incentive. So what that started to do, this like reality in my group, to where, I mean, everybody wants something for free, right? If you can't do a full-size product, maybe you can do a deluxe sample pack, or maybe you can do a build your own sample pack as your prize. It's really whatever is within your budget. But honestly, if you're having a pretty decent month and you're qualified and you have, or maybe you got your 500 and you're getting paid on your team, or even if you don't have a team, if you had a pretty decent month, I think you can probably afford a retired chunk bar or a deluxe sample pack and a stretchy headband from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Another way my incentive has helped me, and I think it's really been the game changer for me, is I use my incentive to pull shoppers from parties. So I will tell the people in my parties, hey, you know, in a private message, thank you so much for your order. It has qualified you to be entered to win a free product. Please join my group. So that's getting them into my group. So please join my group so I can get you entered. Then when they come in, I tag them. I keep track of it all. I make a little graphic, keep track of it all in the comments. And I will comment and say, you know, Shelly has 3 entries. Then once Shelly joins into my group, then I will respond to her and say, you know, thank you so much for joining. Please feel free to play games, interact, share your posh love, show us your order, you know, whatever you're comfortable with, just please, you know, have a good time in the group. It's there for that purpose. So then she gets in there and she sees other people are posting their reviews, or I even have people who will share articles, or I have a couple live and do a mask demonstration or whatever. So then she's coming in and she's seeing everybody in the group already doing these things. So she just kind of falls right in step with everyone else. So getting it where I wanted it was hard. Maintaining the interaction has been pretty easy because it kind of just takes care of itself. So what that allows me to do is to be able to, I like to call it drive the fun bus. I get to come in and be the one that's playing the games or sharing the funny articles or doing a crazy demo, or, you know, something to be a presence in my group, to where it's not all like, did you see this product? It's amazing. You want to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I have people in there already who are doing that. Did you see this product? It's amazing. You should buy it. So I don't have to do that so much. You have to share specials and deals and things like that where it's appropriate. But for your VIP group can essentially sell to themselves. It's herd mentality. And as much as we as females may not like to admit it, we don't want to miss out on the cool stuff. We want to have what everybody else has. If she's got that face mask and it got rid of her zits, well, by God, I want it for my face to get rid of my zits, right? So those are the things that I do, and I feel like it helps me to keep a constant flow of the types of behaviors that I want. So if somebody does anything that you're like, oh yes, that's perfect, I totally want you to do that, then give them an entry into the incentive. But you don't stop the communication there though. You want to make sure that when they are posting these reviews that you are thanking them and praising them. And then I even take it a step further and I send them a private message, because again, we're trying to build relationships here, and your customers can always turn consultant. Always. There's always the potential for the customer to turn consultant. And if you have built this relationship with them already, the transition into frontline is going to be so much easier. Does anybody have any questions? Because I can't see anything. And then I'll go to my next.
Well, there was a few there, but you know what? This team is so amazing. They actually help each other and answer each other out. One person just asked the difference between a business page and a VIP page, and I'll just shout out Tracy Carr. She totally answered that for us. You know, So Patty, if you didn't see that, I know the comments during a live video, Patty, can kind of get a little weird there because they can go out of order at some point. So Patty, Tracy has answered that for you. She said business pages are public and people can shop right from it. Yes, you can actually have a shop now button. And if you make sure your business page is under a business profile, if you guys go to Melissa Huckmeister, which is my business page, you'll see that I have a legit shop. Like if you click on the shop products, you can actually build yourself a shop, and I just build from the website. So people can click on a product and they can go straight to my website, to that product, add to cart. Like it's literally just right there. Your VIP group is your private avenue to spoil your customers. I love how Tracy says that. Share deals and keep those recurring shoppers close and make them feel special. Yes. Yeah, I agree, Tracy. I've often been able to say to people, if it's a VIP group, what are you doing to make them feel special? What are you doing to make them feel so important, you know?
VIP group counts. It's where your fun happens. It's where all the good, spoily, pampery, lovey, smushy stuff is supposed to happen, is in the VIP group. Because, I mean, honestly, that's what those people are. Those are your VIPs. I could, if I wanted to and had the need to, take some time back and maybe take a month to where I could only, you know, maybe manage to do one party or maybe two. I can get what I need to get paid at rank from my VIP group, because not only am I constantly bringing new, fresh meat into the group, but I'm also pampering and encouraging the ones that are in there that are giving me the types of behaviors that I need. So, the good thing about a group is you can tag people. Okay, so tag them in the comments. If some lotion just came out and you're in your VIP group, you can even be like, oh, Shelly, I know you love pumpkin spice, so you're going to be all about this Scott for Spooky Posh. And it's okay to put that out there, because then the people in your group are like, oh, well, dang, she thought about her. I bet she remembers that I like Kappa Spackle. So if something like that comes out, she's going to tag me in that too. Another thing that you want to make sure that you're doing, I try to do at least twice a week. I try to do some kind of posting that respond to me in some way. You know, like just the little cheesy thing. Which way do you like? Or I posted one the other day that got a lot of interaction. It was just a graphic that said, if you weren't so afraid, what would you do? And it got a ton of interaction from people just coming in. And that's also another good way that you can use those posts to get to know your customers on not such a surface level, not such a care level. If somebody would post that they're afraid of heights and you're afraid of heights, that gives you an opportunity to make that connection with your customer outside of you just being a skincare pampering person in their life, right? Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to offer people something for free. Samples. These jewels right here are your best tool for your VIP group, because you're going to spoil them, right? And then they're going to give you what you want in return. So I will do one of those interactive posts once a week, and I'll say, I will pick someone by random to receive a sample. Okay? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So I get these cards from the Dollar Tree, and you can write your little handwritten note. Thank you so much for playing. Remember to post a review. You'll get an entry into the incentive. Again, I remind them to do the habits that I want them to do and explain to them the reward that they're going to get for doing them. And then you just put your little sample in here, and you can mail this card with a single Portal sample for a regular stamp.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be something that like breaks the bank. It really doesn't have to be something where you feel like you have to give this huge, overwhelming reward to get the small little interactions that you want. It can literally be something small. I like to say, when you were potty training your children or housebreaking your dog, the first time they peed their pants or peed in the floor, were you just like, screw it, they can wear diapers to college? You kept consistently working for the behaviors that you wanted in return. And when they come running down the hallway with toilet paper hanging out of their crack, you do the potty dance and you give them a popsicle and you go crazy, right? So it's the same thing with your customers. When they do the smallest little thing, you have to really build them up. It builds a confidence in them that they can continue to do those types of behaviors. And again, it makes Posh sell itself for you. I mean, your customers are basically doing your job, and it frees up a lot of time. My biggest tip that I can give you about a VIP group, though, you can post all you want and you can try all you want, but if you don't consistently work your business every single day, 7 days a week, it's not going to matter. Be a present in your Facebook group at all times. If you don't have time to book a party and you're making excuses, or you're all of those things could possibly slip for a week or two, but if you let that VIP group go for a day, your views are in the gutter. That's just how Facebook works. It's not necessarily the greatest source of contacting people, but it's what we have to work with. So we have to play by its rules. And one of its rules is if you don't post, your views go in the gutter. A big thing I tell my team a lot, don't allow excuses to consume you. Because if you make the smallest excuse today, well, I can't post in my VIP group because I had to work today and I had to go to soccer practice and I had to cook dinner and Johnny had football practice and this one had to go. Okay, well, you can make this list of excuses as long as your arm, but I promise you, you stop for 2 seconds to pee. And in that 2 seconds while you were peeing, you could have posted in your VIP group. And that is all you needed to do for that day. But the second you say, well, I couldn't do it today because I was busy, then the very next thing that comes up, you're going to use that as an excuse. And then it starts to snowball and you find yourself, oh, I stubbed my toe on the counter, so I'm not going to post in my VIP group today. Like, you really get yourself in this like mindset of I don't have to do it, or I can forgive myself today for my shortcomings, and it will kill your business. You have to work, and your VIP group is where the best of that can come from. You use a graphic that outlines your incentive for the group. Yes. Like a graphic at the beginning of every month, and I'd be sure not to include words like free or win or any of those Facebook killers that will murder your views. And, and I tag them as they go. So if you book a party for me, you get 5 entries in the incentive for the month that you book a party. I do 1 entry for every $10 spent, 1 entry for posting review. If you do a live demo, you get 3 entries, because let's be honest, we don't really care to do live videos. Our customers could give a crap less about doing a live video. But when you get one in there that does it, you better bet yourself you want to find. I created a whole new category for 2 girls in my group because they kept coming in live. So I incorporated it the following month into my incentive.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh my God. Like, that just spoke to me.
So they were doing something that was really helping me. So I wanted to make sure to reward that. Another thing I'll do for my incentive is someone gives me a referral. If they refer me to their friend, this is for me, then boom, 5 entries into my incentive, because that gets them, they're already like, oh, I'm using this hand cream, it smells good. Or you know how we are when we find something that's amazing, even if we're not trying to sell it, we're telling everybody about it anyway. So if their friend comes and purchases to me because they were talking about Posh, I want to reward that behavior. They're going to continue to refer me to their friends because it's benefiting them. I also do random acts of kindness in my VIP group. If I have people who are really supportive and really helpful, even if they're not necessarily time, because a purchase is not always the only way to be successful. Other people sharing your business really helps to get others to purchase. So I will send them like maybe a bath, maybe a couple extra samples or something, just to say thank you. And I do a birthday thing in my VIP group every month. I have them post their birthday. Then I use that as a cheat sheet to tell them happy birthday on their birthday. And I pick one person from that list and I mail them a birthday card. I get these bracelets from Paparazzi. I don't know if you can see these, but I always get the ones that come at like 2 or 3 in a pack. So it's $5 for 2 of these. And I'll just take this apart and send one of these bracelets, a couple of samples, and a nice handwritten birthday card. I've also used that post to book birthday-themed Facebook parties because it's their birthday month, so we can do a birthday theme. And I've booked several parties that way by doing my birthday shout out for the month.
That's a really awesome idea. And I don't mean to interrupt you. And I know you're like on a flow. And it's like, I feel like I'm getting goosebumps right now. I freaking loved your paparazzi because, you know, I'm all about women supporting women. And the majority of people in direct sales are women. I think the percentage is somewhere like 80%. It's something crazy, you know? So that's a really awesome tip because paparazzi is pretty affordable. And I guarantee you there is someone that you can support by, you know, buying from them to be able to give to your VIPs. I freaking love that.
Yes. I do definitely do the paparazzi. I have like a pile of paparazzi over here. I have these little earrings. I get myself in trouble with the paparazzi.
I add the, you know, because everyone's loving the incentive idea. And I know that I pondered that for a very long time. And I think I'm going to be able to start. I want to also kind of like, because there are some people who are probably going to go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can keep track of this for a full month. Okay, was that just me who probably thinks that? It might just be me who is thinking I can't phantomly be able to keep up with everything with a month-long incentive. So here's a bright idea is just split it in half. Maybe do the incentive from the 1st, the 6th, the 15th, and maybe the rest the 16th or the 30th. You know, those are just some ideas that if you're feeling like you may not be able to, and that might be for the people who have large VIP groups. My VIP group is very small. Well, small-ish, but you know, you just think about that. So I posted a question. I don't know if you can see it. Dana just says, never give too much because then they don't feel the need to buy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree.
There are times when you can give too much. If you all don't mind me sharing, I have this big pile of mess behind me over here. I don't know if you can see this. But next month is my birthday, October. So my VIP group, they work hard for me. So I want to kind of spoil them in October. And I'm going to do a mystery bag sale. But so these are my mystery bags. This is like $40 worth of product right here. I'm going to sell them for $25. But one of my has $75 worth of product in it, and that's going to be up for grabs for the same price. But here's the fun part. I'm going to open these. They're all going to be in pretty gift bags. I'm going to open them all up on my actual birthday. I'm going to wear a stupid birthday hat like I'm 4, and I'm going to open them live because I like to give back to them, and I like to share, and what better time than when you should already be getting gifts anyway. So instead of them giving me gifts, I'm going to gift them because granted they're paying for $25 worth of stuff, but they're getting way more for the $25. And that's the good thing about having those VIPs because they will buy those things. They will be all over a chance to win, to get $75 worth of product for $25. And giving a small sample, if you're getting the behaviors that you want back in return is totally worth the investment in your business. It's 100% worth it because just because the person who won the game, who you sent the sample to, they may not be the one to purchase that sample. They may not be the one to purchase the product, but because they posted that review, then several other people are going to. I had a lady come in when Hips Don't Lie first came in the catalog last season. She came in and she posted a picture of the tops of her thighs. So we all know how embarrassing and how hard it was for her to do that, right? So she posted a picture of the top of her thighs and she was like, oh my gosh, y'all, I need 5 gallons of this Hips Don't Lie. I sold 7 Hips Don't Lie from that post. So sending that Hips Don't Lie sample to her was totally worth it because she bought the product, then used it for 2 weeks, and then told everyone, and not only told them, but showed everyone what it did. And so it got sales. So it's worth it to have people be sharing their posh love. And it also helps with how many of you all have been somewhere, or you've been in a group, or you've been to a party, or you've been at the mall at the kiosk and they're like, try my spray. Here, you want to try this perfume? And you really just want them to go away and leave you alone, right? So you're not the one that's always in there like, this is really good stuff. Get some of this stuff. Here, have this, have this, have this.
That's such a good analogy, Cassandra. Oh my God, it never occurred to me that literally we are the, well, I don't want to say we, but maybe a pretty good chunk of us are the kiosk people. Oh my gosh.
Don't be that girl.
Oh my gosh, hashtag do not be a kiosk girl. You are not going to be doing post after post after post saying this is so amazing. First of all, think of a better adverb or adjective. Like, it is not amazing. There is other words we can use, right? But oh my gosh, that is just fantastic. I seriously, goosebumps on that one. Don't be a kiosk girl. Can we start that hashtag?
Let somebody else be your kiosk girl. Let your VIPs be your kiosk girl, because it's nowhere near as annoying when everybody how awesome stuff is. And not to mention, like, you go to these things and you're like, yeah, of course you think your perfume's great. You sell it. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Go away. But when other people are telling you how something is so great and how you need it and how it's changing their skin or changing their life, then you want a piece of that pie. And it's sometimes a lot easier for people to get that in their head when it's coming from someone who's not the person who's actually standing to profit from their.
I totally agree. I want to point out a few things for you, just so I know you can't see comments, but you need to know that they're crazy. And here's a few things you've done, Cassandra, just because you should know this. Is when you were talking about having no excuses, we had a few things come up. Rebecca was saying burn, hashtag, right? We know it. We all know we make the excuses, and the worst thing is, like, we have to realize they are excuses.
They are.
I think I hear, you know, I think when you're just maybe when you're a leader of a very large team, you tend to hear them all. It's kind of like when I was a teacher and I would hear all these excuses for why the homework didn't get done. It's like, okay, I've heard that one. I think when we realize that there's never going to be enough time in the day. There's not. There's no creating time. You have got to make the time. That's the key right there.
You get extra hours, have to use the ones you're given.
And here was, let's see, Rebecca Williams. She's saying guilty. Thank goodness for relaunches. Saying with the no excuses. She knows it. And then Patty over here said, thank you. Needed a touch more motivation. And this really helps. So I wanted you to see that, because you don't even realize yet you're having an impact right now. Let's see, it is 8:06. I will just reiterate a few things before we continue, just in case someone is jumping on right now. First of all, yes, Lauren Wood, scheduling post totally helps. You guys, I said this last week on one of the chit chats. I talked about scheduling. I have my post scheduled a week out. So I'm constantly, like today is Tuesday, I posted next Tuesday's post. So that's how far out I get, because then I can take a breather if I need it, right? Which is
right.
Would probably be tomorrow. God, after everything. And I wanted to say, you said something that was amazing, and you said that when your customers, your VIP customers, do something that you're wanting, that positive reinforcement, like they do a live review or they do post a review, you go and validate them. You go message them or you send them a handwritten thank you note. You just basically validate them, because you said your VIPs pretty much potentially could become a team member. And I just want to relate that to someone here. I don't know if she's still on, but Steph, she just joined. She's on my VIP group. She has been a VIP for a very, very long time, and out of nowhere she joined. So I think that that's a crazy thing, because if you are telling them, thank you for all this, blah, blah, thank you, but you do this, it's really incredible. You are actually really doing such a great thing, because when they do transition to a team member, they're still getting all that acknowledgement and validation, because that's what we do here. Women support women, period, the end, right? One other thing you said.
And they become a consultant.
Exactly. You said.
They know it.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I almost lost my thought. Okay, you touched on consistency. Okay, I just want to tell the team right now, I have had so many leaders on, and you guys, every single leader has said consistency. It's not something we make up. It's something that If every single leader it comes on here and is telling you consistency is key, and when we mean consistency, we don't mean that you try for 30 days and, oh my God, I'm done because nothing's happening, I give up. We're talking consistency. We're talking a year here. The normal standard is anywhere from like 6 to 9 months, you guys. That's consistency. So having that consistency, if everyone's saying this across the board, I think it's probably fair to say that is probably a really big thing. Those are the two really big things that I had to like write down, because I was like, oh my God, I have goosebumps. And lastly, I'm gonna do the drawing right in the middle because Cassandra has a lot more tips, so please stay on afterwards. But I'm gonna do the drawing really fast. But before I do the drawing, I just want to say, you guys are really hearing from someone really amazing. I met Cassandra in Costa Rica. She's not a premier. She's not a silver premier. She's not a gold premier. She's a platinum premier. She will be, I guarantee you, because I can predict these things pretty well. So she will be. She's a pink +3, and she was in Costa Rica, you guys. Too many times I hear people say, I can't earn an incentive because I'm not a leader. I don't have the following that you have. You guys, I earned my first incentive as a pink +2. It is so freaking possible. And so what's equally amazing is that you're hearing from Cassandra, who's a pink +3 right now, and you are watching her promote to premier. You were on a live chat with her as she is literally putting into place everything that she needs to be able to promote to premier. And not only that, but to maintain premier. Because premiers is one of those ranks that you have to maintain because #scary, kind of spooky, spooky, you can lose premier. So you've got to have these actions in place. I know. Was that too spooky? Is that too spooky? Okay, just rewind.
So while I was sitting here, my brain was doing what it does, trying to make me squirrel all over the place. So I just wanted to mention something. So before I came here this evening, because I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one, like I feel a little inadequate a lot of the time. So I went for advice from my team as to and a lot of my team was in my VIP group. So I went to them and I asked them, I was like, what was, one of the main reasons came to my group every day, right? And a lot of the things were the fun games that you and the videos that you would share and this and that. So this is another reason why I don't really do a schedule, because if I'm going to post a game on they're not going to come to my group until Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily want people there just to win stuff either. I kind of want them there to kind of learn. I do ingredients, I do those kinds of things. So I kind of like to spice up the playtime just because I don't want people to only come see me once a week, right? Come see me all the time. So live videos, really important. Anyway, I don't know. I think live demos, people like to see what you buy. If I get a box, I will do, especially if it's like samples or stuff that I know that I'm going to make samples out of, I will say during my live feed, all of you all are watching right now, if you want to try this, comment, because that encourages when they see Cassandra Lowery is live, they're going to think, oh crap, I might be able to get something. I'm going to try some new posh, so I'm going to get over there and see what she's doing. I may not be giving something away, but sometimes I will say in my live videos, I did Porter's Chores. You have to be careful saying that one because it'll come up on you and get you in trouble. Yes. So I was doing that one and I said, I held up my samples and I was like, I have several of these, first 5 to say you want it, you get it, right? And so that kind of encourages them to watch live videos. I unbox 90% of my orders that come in. I try to be live in my Facebook, in my VIP group. And guys, seriously, you can go in your VIP group with a towel on your head or in your robe or looking like a train wreck, because guess what? They're all moms too. And if you're together all the time, then you're not relatable. You're not just a normal average Joe just like they are. And they're not going to want to feel comfortable in that space to share their chaos. Just my little side track.
Well, and I just want to add, there was, okay, so I'm going to admit something to all of y'all because that's what I'm going to do. There was a pretty good chunk of time there, like a good week during Uncon when I was in Utah and all of that was going on. The shindigs was going on. And I was rooming with Lauren, so she can vouch. It was a lot of crazy going on. I actually let my VIP group go. I mean, I might have posted every now and then, but I didn't put a lot of thought into it. And what you just said rang true for two reasons. First of all, when I came back to try to get back into my VIP group, I noticed my views had gone way, way down. I mean, we're talking, I have a pretty good sized group and I was only getting like 20 views. And that was really bad. Like, that's horrible. You should always be going for half. Like, that should be a minimum just to like say you have a group. Minimum views of how many people you have. That's minimum. But I did exactly what you just said. And I started really realizing that my VIP group, they need to know me on a very personal level because I know them on a personal level. I know what they want. I know what they need. They've been telling me all about their skincare needs and blah, 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 blah. I realized that. And ever since I started posting more real pictures, I have noticed, I mean, we're back. I'm like, maybe, I want to say almost 90% of my actual group is now viewing my post. So you can tell that change has really made a difference.
It makes a difference. And don't be afraid to tag people, especially if you're playing a game, you know, and I will do, Facebook algorithms are the enemy of direct sales businesses. Let's just be honest here. So I will do every so often, I will make a little post and I will post at the top, hey, you know, Facebook is a brat. And if you haven't liked or commented in a while, it has limited you seeing my page. So I'm going to tag all of you. For every comments, I'll pick a winner to get, you know, a sample prize or whatever. And I will literally go in the comments. Don't do it all at once or you'll go to Facebook jail. I will go in the comments and I will tag, you know, 10 people, wait 20 minutes, tag 10 more people until I have literally tagged every person that's in my group. I don't recommend you do that all the time. That's annoying. Nobody wants to do that. But if you find yourself in a position now where your views are a little in the gutter, that would be a good way to kind of pull them back in. Another thing, if you do plan to implement some of the new things that I have talked about this evening, it's totally okay to go in your group and tell them, you know, hey, I want to do this new fun thing and I want you all to, you know, get a chance to earn some stuff. And you know what, just tell them, just be honest with them. Being your genuine, true, real self is going to sell way more than any graphic, any video, anything. Just go with it and like speaking your English. I have one last thing, and then I think I'm going to be done. So, incentive. Let's talk a little bit about incentive. So, I joined Posh in May of 2016. The incentive started in June of 2016. So, less than 30 days after I joined Posh, the incentive started. I am not the most confident person in the world, and I struggle a little bit with feeling deserving of things. So I was in this mindset of that's never going to happen for me. That's never going to happen. All these platinums and premieres and all these people, they have such a bigger customer base. I don't really have a lot of friends. I had 0 local customers. I live in a tiny little town. I was basically a sinking ship from Go in my own head, right? So then, you know, incentive happens and I got a recruit and I was like, what am I going to do with this? You know what I mean? And so next thing I know, I have 3 recruits and then I double promoted an incentive. The very first month of incentive, double promoted. Shit got real. I mean, let's be honest here. It kind of will snowball, but it didn't happen because I was sitting over here going, oh, well, somebody will buy from me eventually. No, I was beating the streets. I was sharing my Posh. I was booking my parties. I walk around like a Posh billboard with my Posh shirt on and my bright pink tux and my hair pulled up all crazy. Like I live, breathe, and eat Posh in my outward life. So it kind of breaks people in. So if you're sitting there as a protege or as a pink one and you're thinking, this is not going to happen for me, there is no way in the devil's playground that I'm going to get this incentive trip. You are selling yourself short. I promise you, it is totally doable. I am nothing special. I don't do anything cool. I don't do anything any differently other than I treat my business like it's a business, and my on sign is on every day. No one has to find a new coffee shop to come get a coffee because my on sign is on. They can come to me whenever they need me.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there and say, I don't want to ever hear you say you're not special, because two things. You already know that I am a big, big, big firm believer in what you put out there is what you're going to get. Right. So, you know, and I guarantee you, I'm going to have, you know, I'm going to like show you all these comments. I'm going to say that this was an amazing chat right now, but you are special and you are doing something. And here are a few things that you are doing. And I think everyone can identify and that they can run with it. You're consistent, right? You're definitely consistent. You believe in yourself. You know what you're doing. You know exactly what you need to do to get your stuff done. And third, the biggest one, and this is one that Jessica Perea, you guys might know her as Jessica Posh, when she was on last week, she said this, you know, Cassandra, you are not sitting on your couch praying for a sale. That's one thing Jessica says is if you're sitting on a couch and you're praying for a sale, yeah, you're done. You cannot just sit there and think that this will come to you. This is a hard-working business. So you do those three things, Cassandra, so you are freaking special.
You have to want it. My biggest motivation is, like, I don't necessarily have a lot of, like, go wife when it comes to this whole Posh situation. So I have kind of turned a little bit of that. I mean, he's not a monster, but he's not 100%. He's not bleeding pink over here, ladies, okay? So I kind of use a little bit of that, like, haterade that he spews on me sometimes to just be like, you know what, screw you. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
Mm-hmm. You know, I know a lot of you guys might love Josh Posh. I mean, he's a cool guy, right? And a lot of you guys met him, right, in Costa Rica. And he's a cool guy. He's kind of, he can have a little bit too much liquor. We all know that, right? I mean, Lauren might have seen that full blown. He can have a little too much and he can get crazy and go to sleep at 3 in the afternoon. But, you know, Josh Posh was definitely not supportive in any way at all. Like, we're talking, like when I told him that I was going to go towards the St. Thomas incentive, he was like, yeah, you go do that, honey. You were so good. You were so sweet. You just go work yourself really. And I was like, oh, really? Hashtag watch me. I earned that one. I earned the Costa Rica, number 7 in the company. Booyah, guess who now believes me? Like, he now looks at my paychecks. He now looks towards mine because I double his. Just a little tidbit right there. I double his. So I'm just saying it can happen. So for all of you guys who don't have supportive husbands, y'all are out there. I know there's like a ton of us, right? I'm just going to tell you right now, use it as fire. Like, just let that burn and just let yourself go. All those little haters. Yeah, I'm just telling you. Just telling you. Rebecca Carlson said, yes, Queen Cassandra is amazing.
Well, thank you. So before I leave, I'm going to leave you all with the one thing that I think I carry with me every day in my business. It was a random Facebook post, and it says, don't ever turn down the level of your ambition because someone else is uncomfortable with the volume. Like, do it. You can do it. I can do it. Everybody can do it. You just have to be consistent. I know that it's like one of those words that you probably get sick of hearing, but it gets said over and over and over again like a broken record because it's like the truth.
Hashtag it's the truth. Question mark.
It works. So be consistent. Consistency is key. No matter what you're doing, don't ever try something and try it for 5 days and be like, well, that sucked. I'm not doing that again, because you didn't house break your dog in 5 days. You didn't potty train your kid in 5 days. And if you did, you're a champion, because my son took like 4 months before he would crap in the toilet. Okay. But we still tried.
You do. It's consistent. Like I have preached this time and time again. People who are brand new will join the company, or really any direct sales company, and within the turnaround time, literally the turnaround time is 60 days. Within 2 months, people are willing to just toss it and not believe in the opportunity. I mean, you cannot give it 2 months and think, oh, okay, well, it's not working, I'm out.
There's also people who are sitting back waiting for you to fail.
Yeah. Oh God, y'all.
And they're waiting to see how to be consistent before they decide to buy into you.
And do you want to be that person who does quit and everyone secretly says behind your back, told you. That's why I didn't buy from you, because I knew you wouldn't survive that company. Like, do you want to be that? You don't want that. You want to keep going. That's why I said earlier, what were you talking about? I don't know. 6 to 9 months. I don't know what we're talking about. It took 6 to 9 months, y'all. 6 to 9 months for my own freaking family to buy from me. Just gonna toss it out there. My own freaking mom, you guys. 6 to 9 months. It took 1 year for people to finally say, I should have joined you way back then. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying. So just remember that you know, she's not just saying consistency because that's just what we read. It's what we've done. Like, I've been consistent for 3 years, you guys. That's a long time, but it's okay because it gets easier as you go too. Just saying. Just saying.
It's easier as you go. And I've been on my PTA for 4 years since my son was in first grade at this new school, because we just moved into this new area. So I've been on my PTA for 4 years. When I first joined Posh, I joined like in May. School was out like 5 days later. So I had this like, gotta Posh everybody kind of overwhelming sensation at the end of the school year, right? So I go to field day thinking I'm all cute with my little Posh shirt and my stupid Posh samples. And I'm like, hey, everybody gets samples. Like, I'm just drive by. You know, we all do it. We're like, here's a sample. And you take off, right? You do it. We all do it. We drive by. So I drove by, sampled all my PTA moms. I did it all. Did that happen? No, that didn't do a dang thing for me. But wait for an effort. But what did finally work was I finally bamboozled one of those moms.
Bamboozled.
Finally wanted to listen for 5 seconds to what I had to say. And she ordered a hand cream. I did a fundraiser that raised no funds at my kid's school. But I went anyway because I wanted to tap that market. So she bought a hand cream from me. Her daughter loved it. I brought her into my VIP group. Of course, she played a game and won a mask brush sample. Well, the very following, it was the end of the school year, a whole year later, we were at it was our PTA volunteer appreciation luncheon thing. So I took her mask brush and I took her samples and I said, I am giving it to her in front of all of these people. I don't care what any of them have to say about me. I'm giving her this brush in front of all these people. And taking that brush there, I got another customer that same day. And you know what she told me? Yeah, so you gave me some samples at field day and I threw them straight in the garbage as soon as I walked around the corner.
Ooh, not good.
Straight to my face. That she threw my samples in the trash. But you know, what choice really did she have? I handed her a bag of Laycons and was like, here, try this, and took off running in the other direction because I was scared and I didn't know what to do. But it's finally paid off, and I actually think that one of them is going to book a party with me. And at family movie night on Monday, one of the moms got my Posh bag and she grabbed my sample bag out and just started handing catalogs and samples out to all the random PTA moms. So it worked.
Oh gosh. Yes. I just joined the PTA. So not only do I feel like one of those moms now, I'm like, hey, my PTA, but I'm also sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, the potential here, right?
The potential. Well, mine's in 5th grade. This is my last year to tap this market. So I'm like,
yeah, it's so funny is people are always shocked for me when they ask, because people always assume that my team is local. I have like a few girls who are local. Kirsten's local. She lives in Gatesville, just a few miles away. There's a few others, you know, that are in that area. But the majority of my team is like across the nation because I'm on social media so much. But you know, I think that you just touched on that is like my market is so prime, literally right here. Literally right here. And I haven't been able to break into my own neighborhood, you guys. And my PTA is literally how I'm gonna do it. PTA, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I want Amanda asked a question. I need to make sure because I don't know if it got answered. Because Rebecca asked too. I'm gonna have to try the scheduling post now. Is it done with Post My Party or do the groups have the feature? I don't know if Cassandra used the scheduling of the post. Do you schedule your post?
I'm lazy to drag out my laptop. You can only schedule posts from your right now. It's supposed to be for iPhones and for Android operating, but for right now, you can only schedule posts inside groups from a PC format.
Yes, correct. So you can only do that from a desktop format. So basically, get your laptop out. I don't know about iPads, but I schedule posts for groups and pages. You can do it for your page too. Page has actually been around for a very long time, but groups is brand new. So whip out your desktop, schedule them out, start doing what I do is like, you know, today is Tuesday, schedule out your next Wednesday. And yeah, you're going to have to work on tomorrow as well. But if you can get 7 days out, you're going to actually get to next Tuesday and be like, oh my God, I'm already done. Like your next like everything will be start scheduling. So start scheduling this post out because it will, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much time it frees me up. I've been able to answer y'all's messages better. I have been able to actually follow my customers better. I've been able to chat with people like Cassandra better. Like schedule your posts for sure. So
for me, I had a training at 9:30. I'm 4 minutes late.
No, I think we're done. I'm going through. So no, it's all good. So you guys, thank you for being on. I know this is much longer than we normally go, but the tips were just rolling in and they were amazing. Do me a favor. There are still people on here right now. Please, please, please tag people. If you see someone on the team page, ask a question about VIP groups or customer service or anything, please tag them in this post because no one wants to recreate the wheel. Can I get a hallelujah? Preach, right? No one wants to recreate the wheel. Tag them here and say, watch it, because if they invest their time into this business, I guarantee you they will see that feedback.